I'm a Washington, D.C. native. I grew up in Northwest D.C., more specifically 5th and Taylor Street. And somehow I found my way back to D.C., found my way back to, I guess, where it all began. I moved back and forth a lot, switched schools almost every year. Up until 6th grade, I went to school in Maryland, I went to school in D.C. We moved around every year, and like looking back, I realized a lot of it had to do kind of with what my economic situation was, but my mom did a really good job of kind of hiding that from us. My mom raised me, my brother, and my sister by ourselves. It was her, by herself. But I never knew what it meant to be poor until I got older. You step inside my mother's home and you would have thought it was somewhere in Upper Marlboro. You would have thought it was somewhere down by the waterfront, somewhere in Southwest. I really am thankful that we had that safe haven in her metaphorically, as well as literally a place that was drastically different than outside. When I was in middle school, I started to get more involved in service. And I also started to kind of have a certain awareness and realize that the communities that I was a part of or that I lived in had a lack of access to very vital and necessary resources. I can make a difference in helping the people in my community have an economic opportunity, because not only were they disconnected from educational resources, they were disconnected from healthcare, from jobs. They were disconnected from accessing banking. They were disconnected from all of these things that allow you to be an active person in society or just to be a functioning citizen. Growing up in DC, we don't have school buses, so we always kind of like took the metro, or we always were walking through the city. We always had to figure out how we were going to get there. And oftentimes it was never the path that would seem like the easiest way to go or would seem the most direct. We always had to kind of take a back way to go somewhere. We had a good time along the way, and that kind of has been a theme throughout my life. I've always thought maybe it's about just preparing people who've fallen off of that traditional pathway. How about we provide resources to them to help them still get to where it is they need to go? Give them an alternate route. Give them that back street to East Capitol to walk down that got them to Stadium Armory. It wasn't that mainstream East Capitol Street, but that back street of certifications, credentials, professional development, internship programs. That was their pathway. That was their way to get home, a route that catered to them and their needs. I want to take this time to really say thank you to the Economic Club of Washington. So being from a community that does have limited access to resources, I wasn't really sure how it was that I was going to fund college. I had got into a school that was a really good school, but I wasn't sure how I was going to pay for it. And Economic Club came in at a very clutch time in the transition from high school into college. And not only did they come in and provide monetary support, but Miss Linda Larson continually invested in seeing my personal development, was checking up on me at least once or twice every year and wanted to know my progress, how I was doing. And even after I finished at Morehouse, being connected to the David M. Rubenstein Scholarship Program, being connected to the Economic Club of Washington helped me to realize as I'm walking along my route the things that are most important to keep at the forefront. If it weren't for people like Ms. Larson, people like my mother, people like my dad really there to say, hey, you're on the right path, keep pushing, you're doing the right thing, I don't think that I'd be where I am today. This is my opportunity to say really big kudos to Ms. Larson, Economic Club of Washington, as well as the David M. Rubenstein Scholarship, because at the end of the day, if it's no money, it's no project, it's no program, it's no purpose, it's no change. So thank you.